These days, as divided as America is, it's rare for us to find anything that 75% of Americans agree on. But there is something. 3 in 4 voters agree members of Congress should not be able to trade stocks. And it does make sense. They get a heads up about pretty much everything. Unfortunately, there are 75% of all Americans, 200+ million, who want something. And there are just a few hundred people who don't seem to agree, except they're the important few hundred, the 535 all serving in Congress. Senator Josh Hawley just introduced a bill to prevent lawmakers from trading stocks. Here's what he said about the issue last year.
If you come into Congress, my view is you should have to sell the stock and either put it into broad-based mutual funds, like most Americans invest in, or in a completely blind trust you have no control over whatsoever.
His bill is actually called the Pelosi Act because she failed to hold a vote on a similar bill last year. And to be fair, we've seen a handful of these bills over the years. They never pass. But members of Congress seen profiting off of public office is a problem. Let's actually start with the former speaker whose husband has made tens of millions of dollars trading. Yesterday, the Department of Justice filed an antitrust lawsuit against Google. She traded $3 million worth of Google stock a month ago. You decide if it's a coincidence. But it's not just her. An investigation by the trading website Unusual Whales found last year 131 members of Congress filed stock options and trading disclosures. They made more than 12,000 transactions. And in a shocker, they made nearly $800 million in the process. Back to Hawley. He's putting lawmakers sort of in a tough place, right? They have to go on the record and vote for or against something that virtually every American wants if it makes it to the floor. With that, we bring in Dr. Lauren Wright, Associate Research Scholar at Princeton. It's sort of uncanny. There's a number of congressmen who are able to do their job in Congress and still beat the very best traders on Wall Street and money managers. It's wild how that happens. That said, 75% of Americans say they want this, but nobody seems to hold their representative accountable for not doing it, right?
Right. And so, first of all, you can't trade on insider information if you're a congressperson. That's been true since 2012 with the Stock Act to stop congressional members from trading on inside information, and they have to disclose these things. But they're only fined $200 if they stray from that, and they're not held accountable. And so you're right. This makes complete sense, but Josh Hawley had to unfortunately call it the Pelosi Act. That's just an excuse for Democrats to say it's some kind of political attack. It would have been great if there was some Democratic support for this, but I think that's just something Democrats can say when they ultimately vote against this, even though they shouldn't. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, Josh Hawley will be Josh Hawley. You just can't really stop
it's
that.
a shame because it's a great idea.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It is. When comparing the congressional members who traded, 131 of the possible 535, 26 beat the market. That equates to 20%. Over the past 10 years, only 10% of fund managers who are doing it full time outperformed the S&P 500. So either these people have totally missed their calling and should be fund managers. You say there's rules against insider trading. Yes. And then there's the practicality that you may hear different things in the hallway. You sort of know what's coming. You get different briefings, and maybe you trade some stock.
And it's very hard to prove. And so if you look at the case of Richard Burr, which, that case has been resolved now, they basically, we found out in interviews that his defense was, listen, no, I was just watching CNBC Asia very closely. And so I knew about the pandemic just like everybody else did. Yeah. And so the bar for insider trading is very difficult to demonstrate for a normal person. It's even harder if you're a member of Congress. And unfortunately, the rules we do have are not enforced at all.
I think about the lawmakers who've tried to prevent Congress from trading stocks, and it is a bipartisan group of oddly honest people. Interestingly enough, some of them tend to be on the extremes of both the left and the right. I'm thinking sort of Hawley is sort of seen as very far on the right. Ossoff is seen as very far on the left. Jerry Nadler, another one. Are we sort of at this odd point where, pardon me, where the horseshoe of politics and populism is now meeting at the bottom of the extremes?
On some issues it is, but I actually think most people would be surprised to know how closely senators in particular work together and relate with people on the other side of the aisle.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.